Mr. Hargrave here to give you all the tips, tricks, and advice you need to get the highest possible score out of the Rogue Scourge. That's right, the ongoing Famine Scourge. We're going to cover all the teams I used to do my highest scoring run so far, what that kind of involves, my overall take on this, if it's better than Pestilence, worse, what that may be. Let's go ahead and get into this right now. I'll show you the current run that I have underway. This is what I've been working on since I basically stopped streaming on Wednesday. It's now Friday. So I've been plugging away at this. This is difficulty 9 with no scourges. And that kind of brings me to my first talking point, which is this is stupid. So the Scourge events are supposed to encourage you to put scourges on, right? Except this time around, it makes more sense. You get more points by just moving up to the next difficulty level. Now, we saw that as, something detrimental to the design of this from the very beginning, that you could simply just move up to the higher difficulty and negate any scourges from the lower difficulty, therefore rewarding, bigger rosters, more spending instead of more skill. It takes skill to overcome scourges. It takes roster size to overcome just higher difficulty levels. So guys, if you thought you could just win, if you could get top 50 by being good at the game, that can't happen. Difficulty 10 is being cleared by the upper accounts. Now that still does take a degree of skill to clear as well, even with a large roster, but it's off limits to guys like me who are free to play. I am just barely getting by difficulty 9 with my roster. And let me show you what I'm using. Okay, I'm going to go through every node and kind of recall for you what happened. We're going to have, this might be, I think I'm going to do one more run of this as well, and I'll record kind of the whole thing and show you what's going on. So make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe, because there'll be more Scourge coverage coming, as well as some tips on just how to unlock Rogue. There's a few cool tips I'm going to share with you in other videos on just how to unlock her that we're going to bring to you later. But let me show you what I'm using, just to give you an idea of how many characters you have to have, how wide your roster has to be to kind of compete in Scourge. Okay, this is it. These are all, I've saved all the teams I've used for this run. This is the teams. Everything. I am clearing the bench. This is all the teams, all the mutants, okay? Every single mutant in my roster, all the villains, every single villain, every single Mystic Cosmic, just everything, okay? I have thrown everything at this to get where I'm at, and it was absolutely all needed. So if you don't have a roster that looks like this, you're really just not going to hit. I'm probably going to hit somewhere around the top 500, probably a little outside of the top 500, quite honestly. That's what I would expect. Doesn't matter to me. I play this for fun. I don't play this for leaderboard ranks or any of that kind of crap. I just want to enjoy this. So that's what I'm trying to do. But honestly, it's not as enjoyable as the Pestilence Scourge event, because, there I was using Scourges. There I was actually interacting with things, adjusting my run. It was a different experience every time. This is really just raw power. I'm just throwing stuff at it, and I'm lacking raw power. Another talking point I want to get to about this is that I'm at a serious disadvantage with my roster for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is I'm only level 86. So as of recording this, you can get to level 90, and the people who are competing, that I'm competing against, have level 90, and I'm just free to play. So it's going to take me time. I will not hit level 90 during this Scourge event. Other players who are more pay to win than I am already have level 90. So they just have 4 levels on me. I'm probably going to hit level 87 during this Scourge. I think I'll have to run some calculations, but I'm about 10,000 points away. I think I'll get there in the next 9 days. And that's when I'm going to try another run. Like, I'm really not going to mess with it, because that's just so much more power. Even just that one level, especially on 7 red characters, is such a big bump that it's really going to kind of change the dynamics up. And I've seen that power dynamic missing from my teams. Like I just don't hit quite hard enough. And so I can't do what other people are doing at my point level, at my Scourge, wherever, I'm just running difficulty 10, for instance, is like totally out of my ability because I just don't have the power. The other thing I'm lacking is a stronger Dormammu. So I'm sitting here right now in Dark Dimension 5, and I have Dormammu. However, I'm sitting here on the timed run. I've been in here for 13 days. I don't know if I can beat this in another 9 days, quite honestly. The cosmic sections, the legendary sections, they do go a bit faster. I'm on global here, but I don't know. And that's a big difference too, because the cosmic mystic section, as we're going to cover, I just got through it. It was gross. It was disgusting. And having a big Dormammu is really the only way to get through it. There's really not. It's pretty key. So I don't know. I did make it through even just with a baby Dormammu, but I don't see how people are going to complete that with a Dormammu, without Dormammu at as high level as I am. So on the upside, I'm perfectly protected for getting like the top 1% reward, since only like the top 1% of this game have Dormammu unlocked, which I think is rather crappy. To protect me that way. Like only 5,000 people have unlocked Dormammu as of, filming this video, or as of last time I checked. And that pretty much locks me in for top 1%. I can't get less than that because I don't think you can beat difficulty 9 without Dormammu. Maybe you can. Maybe somebody out there is going to figure it out. Maybe there's a way. Maybe if you have like a 7 red Icarus, maybe you can get through it that way. If you have a 7 red Icarus, though, you probably have Dormammu. Just saying. But yeah, I'm protected. I'm going to get a certain level of rogue just from my account being the way it is. I don't know, guys. I'm not loving the trend that Scourge is taking. I mean, this is kind of what I predicted as well from the moment this came out. Yeah, the design looked really good. Yeah, it's a cool game mode. Are they going to screw it up with pay-to-win mechanics? Every time. Like, you can pretty much guarantee every time they're going to screw it up with pay-to-win mechanics. All right, so let's just go through the nodes and let's kind of show you how those played out. So we started out here with mission number 1, City. And here, let me move myself up to the top of the screen, and that way you can really see the teams that I used. So I did have to go in with like a sack team, using Punisher, using some really fast characters that can do big damage to soften the node up, and then I was able to finish it with a team that includes Squirrel Girl. Now, a lot of people were telling me, "Oh, you can't. You got to protect Squirrel Girl. You got to protect Miles." No, if you're gonna punch up on this, you're gonna use Squirrel Girl. You're gonna use Miles. You're gonna use Miss Marvel. You're gonna want to charge. You're gonna need to charge them up before you go into Node 5. It's gonna help you immensely going into Node 5 with like a charged up Squirrel Girl over not having that at all. Like it's very important is what I'm going to tell you. And not too hard to do either. Like Squirrel Girl isn't a problem, man. If you got a decent Squirrel Girl, she's going to heal herself. Just make sure you don't use all of her abilities. Leave her abilities charged up. And it's going to be in a better spot than it would be than if you didn't use her. But she's actually pretty key to beating these, especially when you're punching up on it. Second node, we went in with the sack team just to get some of these ultimate attacks off the board. Then we had to heavily rely upon RNG and use symbiotes. So you can use symbiotes here to kill the undead Asgardians that Hela summons, but you might be able to go through the whole node with it. I didn't try. I tried it enough until I got it to a point where I could clean it very easily with attack number 3. It wasn't very hard to do, but yeah, I mean, it's finicky. You have to like have the undead Asgardians spawn in just the right spot, because I think there's a bishop, and you have to have the undead Asgardian spawn right next to him so that you can kill him and get your turn meter going. And then it's just all about killing that undead Asgardian over and over and over again and kind of keeping turn advantage. All the while, Gambit is just hitting you every turn you take. So like you're losing symbiotes as you go. It sucks. It sucks pretty bad. It's not a cakewalk, but it is doable. And probably one of the easier things to do in the run, quite honestly, because at least there's a trick to it. Now, there's no trick to the mutant section, man. The mutant section just sucks. It is unforgiving as all hell. I did throw in Weapon X here. I think next time I do this, I might try to hold back Omega Red because he can be really useful later on in the villain section. But here I was having such a hard time clearing this with the mutants I have. You might do a lot better if you power up Unlimited X-Men. If you can, like, that might be my next move is to, on the next run I do, I might power up my Unlimited X-Men to, level 86, tier 15. And give them a shot because I didn't really try that. That might work out better, honestly. If you can afford to do that. I just had to throw in every mutant on the board until and the key thing you have to do though, and I do recommend this, I used this in my previous video and I used it again here, was charge up Storm. Get 20 charges on Storm going into the next node. That is pretty much crucial. And I did have to burn Phoenix here. I could not get Gambit to work. So going into the next node, I did not have the option of using Phoenix. I did have to sack this once again. Every mutant on the bench was used to get through this. It was a really nasty section and it's just not fun. Leveling up your mutants is, it feels pointless because they're not used anywhere else in the game. You can try to lean on your Astonishing X-Men, I suppose. Maybe you can get better mileage out of that, but on difficulty 9, they're not really killing things fast enough, so they're not really useful. I like the combination of just Beast and Jubilee for the extra blinds and control that they give. Gambit ended up being an MVP. His special, when upgraded, drops bleeds. That was very, very useful. And then, of course, having Storm there to be able to, I believe what I had to do with Storm was use her special and then only keep the run if she kept her charges because she can do her special, full stun, and then keep all of her 20 charges and then use the ultimate when the final wave drops on Mission 4. Mission 4 wasn't that bad. It was, you had to sack it twice. I had to sack it twice so that I wouldn't just die instantly, which is the case with a lot of these nodes. If you go in and they hit their ultimate moves on a high difficulty, if you're punching up on this, they're just going to wipe you out. So you have to send in little squads to take these ultimate attacks. All right, moving on. Mission number 5. So mission number 5, I did have to sack it with Inhumans. So I sent them in to eat the moves. And then I was able to clear it out with my Young Avengers. You can see my Young Avengers are not the biggest. That's a 3-star Echo down there. Okay, guys? So I'm doing difficulty 9 with just a 3-star Echo, a 4-star Kate Bishop. If they were farmable, this would be easier. It is a very, very good team. That's a 7 Red Squirrel Girl. I'm sure that helps me a lot, especially on difficulty 9. If you want to punch up on the Scourge event, you're going to need a big squirrel girl. And everybody knows that my kids go to Taekwondo. And thank you so much. I really have to figure out how to get rid of those notifications. I really got to figure that out. I might figure it out right now. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to figure it out because I'm tired of that happening while I'm shooting videos. Okay, and we're back, and I think I worked it out. Maybe we won't see that appear in my videos anymore. My kids don't even have Taekwondo at this time anymore. It's an old notification. I'm filming videos here. Leave me alone. Make sure you like and subscribe. All right, moving on. So yes, was able to beat Node 5. Really the least of my issues on this run so far. We'll see about Node 10. I did leave the node pretty well with my Young Avengers. They were charged up. They were pretty healthy. I think Miss Marvel was a little beat up, but should be ready to go. Just not sure about the last node. If I want to go in first with A-Force or if I want to start right off with Young Avengers. Do I want to power up my A-Force? I don't know. I really don't know just yet. Still working that out. Villains, the first node. This was the easiest one so far. Using the team that I did below. I have Morgan Le Fay, Doom, Doctor Strange, Agatha, and Lady Deathstrike. This dropped pretty easy. No real issues with that. However, the second villain node was a nightmare, a total nightmare. And once again, I had to clear the entire bench, use every villain at my disposal. I had to sack it twice. I had to go back in with that Dr. Doom team that I used on the first node. That wasn't enough. I had to go in with an extra team here just to kill Phoenix, because there's a Phoenix at the end. I was able to kill her, get Phoenix off the board, but then I had to clear it with Black Order, with my goal being to save Thanos, because I wanted to use Thanos on the upcoming Cosmic Mystic nodes for this run. I was able to do that, but I needed the perfect run, and this is where I really started feeling like, man, if I was just level 90, this wouldn't be that hard. I would have enough damage. Keeping some heal block for the final wave of the second villain node is almost essential, because Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel and Beast and Magic are just constantly healing themselves, and it's a total nightmare to get through that. Even just those 4 characters on the board were unreasonable, so saving like Omega Red for that would have really, really helped. Yeah, just insanely difficult, but was able to get through it with just, the perfect kind of set of circumstances finally played out for me. And that leads into Cosmic Mystic. So I did have to open up with this. I had to eat the ultimate attacks again with this. And there's not a lot of Cosmic Mystic to use. So that's a real big problem here. Limiting this to Cosmic Mystic was awful. I really miss being able to use Infinity Watch. So many things have been taken away from us. So many tools that we had in the Pestilence Scourge are not here for Famine. And it really, really sucks. Like, it's so bad. It's awful. But here it is anyways. And yeah, I was able to finish this up using Icarus, Silver Surfer, Dormammu, Thanos, and Cersei. Having Thanos feed energy to Icarus so that he's charged up for the second node. However, I just couldn't get this to end with everybody at full health. And I thought Dormammu was at full health to give everybody revive once. And that, I guess you don't need it. So the one big tip I have here, if you're going to run a higher level Scourge, is you can run the Stay Down Scourge, which is a 30-point Scourge. That's very good. Give you some extra points so that you don't need revive once. I probably could have gotten through this without revive once. However, you might need to use that if you're one of those people with Dormammu. If you don't even have Dormammu, you may as well run it, because there's no other reason to have that on there. So it's free points out there. You can use that. And then finally, I was just able to beat the second node of Cosmic Mystic just in one shot, but it took a very specific play out to get it. I could not keep Thanos alive. My Dormammu was not at full health, so I didn't have revive once anyways, which I thought I was going to have. And if I had it, it would have made this a lot easier. But I needed just the extremely perfect playthrough of this. And I finally just got it, so I decided to come out here and make this video. And now I'm on to node 10. I think I'm going to save the gameplay on this for an upcoming video. So once again, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. That'll be coming out soon. It might hit on Monday, and we might bring out some other videos after I clear this. But honestly, I have no idea how long this is going to take or what strategy I'm going to have to use to get through it. So I don't really want to waste your time with it right now until I fully understand it. I will show you what I have left at this point, which is going to be, Young Avengers and A-Force. And I think what I'm going to need to do, I highly doubt, my Squirrel Girl's a little banged up. I'm sorry, I was wrong about which one was banged up. I thought it was Miss Marvel, but it was actually, there you go, move down. It's actually Squirrel Girl that's a little banged up. I think that she has all of her abilities, so I should be able to heal her, but she's prone to one-shot right now, which could be really, really bad. My whole run might be sacrificed. I'm going to have to start over because of that, and that would suck. I do have all of A-Force and Miles available, so I can throw them in as a sack team or a cleanup team. However, it's going to take some serious building on Nico and Spider-Woman, who I have neglected, but at this point I'm like, well, I might just have to build them, because you need all the tools to get through this, and that's really, at the end of the day, what you're looking at when you are looking at doing high Scourge runs, high difficult, when you're punching up on Scourge, when you're trying to outperform where you're at, you're going to need a wide roster. There's no way to do it with a narrow roster. You're going to literally use everything at some point or another to either sack a node, reset a node, kill a key character so that you can go in and clear it out. It's going to be lots of resetting. It's going to be grueling. If you're not into this sort of thing, I don't recommend it. I would highly suggest just, going for the unlock, going for the 500,000 points. We're going to make some videos on how you can do that. Going for the 1 million points to clear the milestones. We've already made that video. I'll link it after this one. You can trust me on that. I'm Mr. Heartgrave, and Grave Diggers, keep digging. But myself keeps slipping.